99% of all Bitcoin traders is going to be losing out if they don't know this crucial information I will be discussing on today's video, because yesterday Bitcoin hit 70,000 US dollars, and right now ever since it saw a massive rejection towards the downside. But we have seen this price action many times before, and I will be exactly explaining what this means for Bitcoin. Also, we got once again more than 200 million US dollars in inflows on the spot Bitcoin ETF, and right now BlackRock is holding more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy's. Well, they have accumulated this in just 2 months. So make sure to sit back, relax, because I will be discussing the most important data points. So can we once again slap up that like button once again above 1,000 likes? That will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content, because if I am right now looking at Bitcoin, of course yesterday we saw a gigantic pump towards the upside, and while this was happening we touched 70,000 US dollars 400, and we saw a big rejection towards the downside. To be exact, we saw a rejection of about 5.5%, and it was $4,000, which is quite insane. And also, if we're looking at the Coinbase chart or at the Binance chart, two very reliable exchanges, we can see that there was a massive amount of volume flowing in towards the market. So this means that there have been a lot of orders cleared, and I believe this is a very good event for the market. And let me quickly explain why, and let me also explain about why this has happened many times before and why this will eventually lead to even bigger breakouts on Bitcoin. So we broke above the all-time high, and basically what we did is clear a lot of sell orders, especially around the 70,000 US dollar level, because I do expect that a lot of people actually want to be liquidating their positions over there, because yeah, $70,000 is of course quite high, and if you potentially bought Bitcoin 2 years ago around $69,000, they are maybe right now happy to sell their Bitcoins for just 70k right now, and due to that we saw that massive rejection in the market. But if I'm looking at the 4-hourly time frame, the last time once Bitcoin broke above its all-time high, we saw a very similar type of movement. I mean, in the last time, we saw, of course, Bitcoin wicking above it, massive rejections afterwards, massive volume also on those candles. And basically, what we did saw over there is that we basically just went above the all-time high and then saw a massive rejection. And then afterwards, we consolidated for another 13 days, 15 days approximately. And then the next time, once we did broke above that all-time high, we went absolutely exponential, because the moment we broke above it at that point, once all the sell orders were cleared, we pushed up over 20% in just the first 20 hours. So that is absolutely insane. And if that were to be happening for Bitcoin this time around, let's say we're going to get a 20% pump in 20 hours, we're going to be pumping all the way up to 82,000 US dollars in a matter of 1 day once we do clearly break above the all-time high. And I want to be pointing out is that, of course, my time horizon was 16 days, where I think that Bitcoin is going to consolidate between this level. But like I said in many videos before, I do expect the breakout could be happening a little bit earlier, since we are indeed having massive amounts of Bitcoin spot ETF flows. Yesterday, we saw another 223 million US dollars in net inflows coming in towards the market. And that means that still, regardless of the high outflows from GBTC, we're seeing massive amounts of Bitcoins getting bought from these institutions while Bitcoin is sitting at an all-time high. So while you are maybe panicking right now that Bitcoin is sitting at an all-time high and you're selling off your Bitcoin, still there are institutions that are right now buying massive amounts of Bitcoin, and they do apparently believe, because you're not going to buy it if you think it's going to go lower, that it is indeed going to be going higher. And I personally, I would rather listen to the smart money than the dumb money. And that is why I think this is a very interesting metrics. And you have to understand that on the pace how they're right now accumulating, the Bitcoin supply is going to be running out at some point. And also in a couple of days, we're going to be having the Bitcoin halving, and that is going to be making it even more difficult for them to accumulate actually more Bitcoin. So while we have said many times before that the Bitcoin halving was actually a sell the news event, I do believe that this time around it could be a buy the news event, because yeah, we're right now already in the middle of that Bitcoin bull market, and indeed we're seeing these large amounts of buys coming from BlackRock. And in the first 2 months after the spot ETF launched, they've already actually accumulated more Bitcoins than MicroStrategy, which is quite insane in my opinion. And also the 9 new spot Bitcoin ETFs are right now holding more Bitcoin than GBTC. So in approximately 2 months from now on, maybe GBTC outflows are going to be stopping, and then the buy pressure will even get more and more and more. And that is, of course, in the end of the day, going to make me even more bullish on Bitcoin. So I think that indeed right now we are at that perfect storm in the market. It is just moments before we're going to be having the explosion. And what I'm trying to be pointing out with don't get fooled right now and why 99% will lose here is because 99% of the people think we are going to get that rejection from off this point, because I see it on Twitter. I see so many people be bearish, and I see that the people that are bearish on 16K are still bearish right now. And honestly, I don't think that this is a smart time to be bearish. I don't think that this is a smart time to short Bitcoin. This is a period where we only want to be looking at long positions. And actually, while this is happening, the price action is still creeping up towards the upside. And what we're seeing is that after this big rejection towards the downside, we actually recovered quite strongly. And right now still, guys, we're sitting at quite a high level, and we're still in an upward sloping trend right now. So right now it is weekend, and I'm not necessarily expecting we're going to have any breakouts over the course of the weekend. I think we're going to be consolidating a little bit sideways, but I do expect that once Monday is going to come, we're going to start seeing more volatility hit the markets again here, and most likely that is going to be the point where we are potentially going to start to see that massive breakout occur on the Bitcoin price action, and then that massive continuation towards new all-time highs, of course. So going further in towards the content right now, we broke out also of that symmetrical triangle, and Bitcoin exactly touched that symmetrical triangle, and boom, bounce back towards the upside. And actually right now, while this trading, it is still trading at a relatively almost the highest 4-hourly candle ever closed on Bitcoin. So yeah, still we're sitting at quite a high level, and Bitcoin is still doing an extremely good job. And yeah, literally what happened yesterday is that we cleared out a lot of sell orders. And also yesterday I spotted a new consolidation phase. I tweeted about it, and also exactly after we broke the downtrend, we exploded towards the upside. So once again, if we will see a new consolidation phase, I either will discuss it in my video or on X. So make sure to also follow me on that platform as well if you want to be staying up to date about real-time trading opportunities. And of course, everything I see, I try to discuss in this video, but of course, some things are just very time relevant. So that is why I posted on X. And guys, if you want to be benefiting from these breakouts and the volatility in the market or these big rejections, make sure to go to Deepcoin in the link description of today's video, because that is an exchange where you could be trading yourself without any restrictions, because more and more restrictions are coming to different cryptocurrency exchanges. And Deepcoin is still one of the only exchanges where you can trade without KYC, with low fees, and where you can copy trade the best traders out there in the market. And if you want to be having this copy trade feature, make sure to sign up an account using the link below, because that is the only way how you get access towards this feature. And also you will get an additional deposit bonus. So if you're interested in trading, check out Deepcoin in the link description of today's video. And yes, right now, it is really calm before the storm. Bitcoin is about to be breaking above this 70K level here. And once we confirm the breakout, just like I said, what happened in 2021 or 2020, we saw 20% push towards the upside in hours, and expect something similar is going to be happening with Bitcoin this time around. And like I've discussed many times before, my bull market target for Bitcoin is sitting around $170,000. And I think the 100K is going to be reached within 3 to 4 weeks after we close the first daily candle above that all-time high. So I'm going to be looking forward towards that. And once it happens, of course, I will keep you guys exactly up to date. And once we're seeing some signals that the market potentially is going to be topping out, because we are going to get massive corrections along the way towards the upside. And I believe that the 1.618 is going to be a very important level to be keeping your eyes wide open on. So I will, guys, keep you up to date on what I'm expecting, what could be happening next. And if you just subscribe to the channel right now, you will definitely benefit the most from that upcoming Bitcoin bull run, because right now in 38 days, we're going to have that Bitcoin halving. And many people have said always the Bitcoin halving is actually a sell the news event. But if we're looking back at history, I mean, yeah, in 2016, Bitcoin went a little bit down, and then we had that big move push towards the upside. Here in 2020, it didn't really was a sell the news event, in my opinion. We just had the pandemic crash, actually. And now we're already forming a new all-time high before that halving is happening. And we're in a different stage of the cycle. And where everyone is right now saying it's going to be a sell the news event, I think because everyone's saying that, it's not really going to be happening exactly like that, right? And what is going to be happening once the halving comes is that Bitcoin production is going to get cut in half. And since we are having a different environment compared to 4 years ago, we're right now having BlackRock buying more than, 5,000 to 6,000 Bitcoin every single day on average. Probably start to see that it is not going to be a sell the news event, but it's actually going to be accelerating the Bitcoin price action afterward. And if we're looking at the chart here, I mean, it has never been a big sell the news event. And if we were to be getting any correction, I would take that opportunity with both hands, for sure with both hands. And if there's going to be any correction at all, and I said it many times before, it looks to be that the new standard in this cycle is going to be 20% corrections, because every single time since the bear market bottom, the biggest corrections we've seen are just 20% corrections. So if we were to be getting any 20% correction in the near future, it would also mean it's going to be a big opportunity to actually accumulate long positions, which I'm also going to be doing, guys, because I will be opening up some new trades here, and I will be trying to do so on that next 20% correction towards the downside. Whether it's going to be once Bitcoin pushed up to 80K or 100K or 120K, it doesn't really matter for me, but I'm just going to be a little bit more patient right now, because of course the last thing I want to be doing is losing, and that is of course a thing that no one wants to be doing, losing, because losing is for freaking losers, and that is not what we're doing. But I am a very patient trader, and yeah, you can also copy trade me on Deepcoin, because yeah, my next trade I'm gonna be taking on Deepcoin with a lot of money once I do see that good opportunity in the market. So this is it for today's update video. If you did enjoy it, slap on that like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. I will be back tomorrow again with another update, and then the day after it's Monday, and I think that is the point where really the explosive price action is going to be happening. I think that this weekend a lot of altcoins are going to be exploding, because Bitcoin is probably going to go a little bit sideways. So you want to be learning more about altcoins, go to Altcoin Rover, my second channel where I talk about altcoins. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.